If you've ever sold a home or thought about selling one, you've probably heard the term seller concessions. But what does that actually mean for you? Are seller concessions a smart move, or is it just money out of your pocket? Stick around, because in today's video we're breaking down the real pros and cons of seller concessions. And by the end you'll have a much better idea whether it's a smart play for your situation. So what are seller concessions? Let's keep it simple. Seller concessions are closing costs or expenses that the seller agrees to pay on behalf of the buyer. These can include things like title insurance, appraisal fees, loan origination fees, property taxes, attorney costs, even repairs and home warranties. Now keep in mind, they're not expenses you're paying out of pocket before closing. They get paid at closing out of your proceeds. So you don't have to come to closing with a check to pay them. So basically it's money the seller offers to help sweeten the deal for the buyer. So why would a seller agree to that? Great question. You're probably thinking, why would I pay for part of the buyer's costs? After all, it's their costs, not mine. Well, in the buyer's market, or when your home needs a little bit of love, concessions can help push the deal across the finish line, especially if the buyer is short on cash or wants help covering their closing costs. According to Redfin, home sellers offered concessions in 44.4% of U.S. home sale transactions in the first quarter of 2025. So what are the pros and cons of seller concessions? Alright, let's start with the good news. There are a few advantages. Number one, you attract more buyers, especially first-time home buyers who are tight on funds. Covering a few thousand in closing costs could be what makes your home more appealing. Number two, close faster. In slower markets, concessions can motivate buyers to act quickly. Instead of negotiating back and forth, you're showing that you're serious right from the start. And remember, in real estate, time is money. Number three, stand out in a crowded market. If buyers are comparing your home to another that's the same price but you're covering closing costs, guess who looks better? Number four, maintain purchase price. Here's the kicker. Instead of dropping your asking price, offering concessions can keep your sales price higher on paper, which could net you more money in the end. You see, a buyer may be more concerned with his upfront out-of-pocket expenses than a slightly increased monthly payment that a higher sales price incurs. So giving $5,000 concession, for example, might actually gain you a $10,000 or $20,000 higher sales price. That's a good return on investment. So what are the cons of seller concessions? Of course, it's not all sunshines and smooth sales. Let's talk about the downsides. Number one, it may not be necessary. In a hot seller's market, you might be able to sell your house without giving anything extra away. Offering concessions when you don't need to can feel like throwing money at a problem that doesn't exist. Number two, lower net profit. You might get your asking price, but you'll walk away with less in your pocket if you're covering thousands in buyer fees. Number three, potential buyer dependency. Some buyers may overly rely on concessions and make weaker offers, expecting you to foot the bill. Number four, limits on certain loan types. FHA and VA loans, for instance, have caps in how much you can offer in concessions. If you exceed those limits, the buyer has to cover the rest or the deal falls apart. So what's typical for seller concessions? On average, seller concessions range from 1 to 3% of the home sales price, according to Rocket Mortgage. So on a $300,000 home, you might expect to pay anywhere between $3,000 and $9,000 in concessions if requested. And that's not pocket change, but it can be the difference between closing the deal and watching the buyer walk away. Here's a pro tip. Use them strategically. You don't always have to offer concessions up front. Sometimes it makes more sense to wait until negotiation is already on the table. Use it as a bargaining chip when needed, but not by default. So should I offer seller concessions? Here's how you think about it. Offer seller concessions if you're in a buyer's market, or if your home needs updates, or you want to attract more attention. Skip concessions if you're already getting multiple offers, or if the house is newly renovated or move-in ready, if you've got it priced aggressively from the get-go, or you're selling to a cash buyer. Here's a pro tip. Always ask your agent or your buyer, if it's a private sale, about loan limits and what's customary in your area. So all in all, seller concessions aren't good or bad. They're just a tool, one that can help you close faster, win over nervous buyers, or avoid a price drop. Hey, if you found value in this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more real estate insights. See you in the next one.